Are you looking for a budget hotel center strip? Well, today we are at Horseshoe. You may remember this place as Bally's, but a few years ago they went through a rebranding and a lot has changed since then. So today we're going to check it out to see if it's worth a stay today. We're staying in a Resort King room, and this is the cheapest room here at the Horseshoe. Now, it's a good size, 450 square feet. You walk in, there's a closet to the right, that's where you have your ironing board, and that's also where you're gonna find your safe. You walk into the bedroom area, and you can see that it is a decent size here. You have a nice long desk. There's a dresser that has a mini fridge in there. It's an empty mini fridge for your use. A couple of drawers, of course, and then there's some charging ports on the side of the dresser. The bed is big, it's comfortable. If you like soft mattresses, you're gonna love this one. The nightstands also have charging ports in them. Now, your bathroom is a pretty standard size, but you do have a nice glass shower door. And you know, some of those hotel rooms just have this weird half glass thing going on, or a shower curtain. It's a full door, I do like that. Now, this room was remodeled in 2018, and it's still in really good condition. Most of the furniture is in great condition. You don't see a lot of scuffs. The exception to that, though, is the bed frame in here, and in the bathroom, the vanity. They are super scuffed up. I'll say that the carpet is still in pretty decent condition as well. And I saw rates here as low as $15 a night. Now, that's not including the $50 resort fee, but I think at $65 a night, that's still a bargain. But speaking of resort fees, when we checked in, and we are here in late fall, and when we checked in, we asked if the pool was open, and they said, no, it's not. And so we asked about the resort fee, and they said, no, that's not what the resort fee is for. Your resort fee covers access to the gym, Wi-Fi, and your long distance phone calls. Well, first of all, who uses the phone in here really anymore? Everybody has a cell phone. Your Wi-Fi only includes 2 devices, so if you have additional devices to connect, you have to pay more for that. And really, most people don't come to Vegas to use the gym. So there's no way out of the resort fee, unfortunately, but that's just what it is. The bad thing about coming to Vegas and to the Horseshoe in the winter or late fall is that the pool is closed for the season. Now, we were able to get a little footage from the outside, but we also have some footage from a previous visit, so let's take a look. There are really only 2 sit-down restaurants inside of Horseshoe. So you have Jack Binion Steak, and one of the highlights here is they currently have a special of $49.99 for all-you-can-eat prime rib. The other sit-down restaurant is Guy Fieri's Flavor Town. They also have an all-you-can-eat special. It's for brunch only, Monday through Friday, $19.99. We didn't have the all-you-can-eat brunch, but we did come in for breakfast on a Saturday morning, and I thought it was really good. Now, other than these 2 restaurants, you do have a couple of coffee shops. There's one that's over by the lobby, and then one over by the Versailles Tower. And if you go down the escalator towards the pool, you'll find a huge food court, and you have plenty of other options there. Now, if you are looking for more restaurant options, you do have the Grand Bazaar shops, which are right outside, so let's take a look at that. Right outside the front of the Horseshoe are the Grand Bazaar shops. Now, you're gonna find some shops here, some bars. You're gonna find some great food options out here as well. Now, right up against the Las Vegas Strip, there are 2 huge buildings. One of them is Blake Shelton's Ole Red. So it's a giant 3-story building with a rooftop bar. And then right next door to it is Bottle Blonde. Again, another huge restaurant bar. And up at the top, they have a rooftop bar with dancing at night. Now, there's other options here like Giordano's Pizza, Wahlburgers, Dave's Hot Chicken. If you've ever heard Dirt Dog, they have some crazy hot dogs there. One of the more popular places to eat is Istanbul Mediterranean. If you come here late at night, you're going to see a long line out there. It's good food. And the new kid on the block here is Chilangos Tacos. It's Mexican food, basically tacos and quesadillas, that kind of stuff. But it's brand new, great tacos right in the middle of the strip. We tried it yesterday. The meat was great in the tacos, and the salsa is super spicy. They have a monorail station here at Horseshoe, which makes it super convenient to get up and down the strip. The Horseshoe is in a great location. You're right across the street from Bellagio. You're next door to Paris and Cromwell on the other side. The Horseshoe is connected to Paris Las Vegas, and they're actually connected by interior walkway. So you can just exit the Horseshoe Casino and you're gonna head right over to Paris. Also, you're gonna find the parking structure for both the Paris and Horseshoe, like right in the middle of this walkway area. Let's talk about the check-in process, because it was not a good experience and I want you guys to be prepared. So when we went to go check in, well, first of all, I should say that I checked in online in the morning before we got here, and I got an email that our room was ready. It was about 3:40, so we went over to the check-in line. Check-in starts at 4, but I went to the check-in line and the lady there wouldn't let us in line unless we agreed to pay the early check-in fee of $20. Now that $20 could be more like 30 or 40. I think it depends on what time you actually get there. But 20 minutes before check-in, it was $20 to check in early. And I said, no, that's okay, we'll come back. So I came back, a little while later, there was a long line to check in to go see kiosks. Because even though I checked in online, I still have to get in the regular line to check in with everybody else. So we stood in line to check in at the kiosk for about 40 minutes. We got up to the kiosk, went to do our thing, and it said, nope, we can't do this here. You have to go see an ambassador. So I'm like, okay, where's that? It's another line. We had to wait another 20 minutes. And by this time, everybody had been through the same line and having the same issues, and you could just feel the tension. There were a lot of F-bombs dropping by the people that were around us in line. And so we got up to the front and finally got our rooms, but I will say that there is a big difference in checking in here at a Caesars property at the Horseshoe versus the MGM properties. So I checked in online hoping that we could just get into a room quickly, but that was not going to happen. At MGM, if I check in online on the mobile app, I get my room assignment, I can get a digital key on my phone. I don't even have to go to the lobby at all. I can just go straight to my room and use my phone as my key. Here, if you check in using their app, you actually have to stand in line with everybody else. There is no shortcut to it. I'd say that the only shortcut that you're gonna get here is if you decide to pay the early check-in fee, because at 3:40 there was nobody there in line. So it might be worth it to you. Of course, if you're here earlier, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks may not be worth it to you. But that was my experience. It really soured the beginning of our trip. The casino here is just one big rectangle area. It is very open feeling. You do have a really nice poker room here. There's a high limit room. And what I love is that all the table games are concentrated in one area. It's really easy to find your way around here. You have several bars up in the casino area, but if you come down the escalator, you're gonna run into the Cabinet of Curiosities. This is a super cool little bar with a bunch of little trinkets in there, and there's stories behind each of the trinkets. But also inside here, there is a speakeasy called The Lock. It's kind of like behind this big safe. It has one of those big wheels behind it. And you go inside there, and that is another really cool bar area. One night when we were live streaming, we were checking out the Cabinet of Curiosities, and we asked if we could go inside of The Lock, and they were nice enough to let us in. By the way, if you didn't know we live stream, well, we do. Every time we're in town, we live stream on Friday nights on the Strip and on Saturday nights on Fremont Street. So be sure to hit the bell notification and subscribe to the channel so that you're notified when we do go live. Now back to this. There were multiple ways that you could actually enter the lock. And of course, me being me, I chose the difficult way to enter and go through this little tunnel. Enrique, on the other hand, well, he took the easy way and just went through a door. That's no fun. Anyhow, you come in here and oh, there I am, made it in to the other side. But this is just a cute little spot. And I feel like this place is starting to get busier and busier. When we first started coming here, when it had first opened, I felt like it was always empty. And now it feels like every time I walk by, there are a lot of people that are inside of the Cabinet of Curiosities. And I think the lock is pretty popular as well. But of course, there are several other bars in the Horseshoe that you can take advantage of if the Speakeasy or the Cabinet of Curiosities is not for you. So you have Sully's Bar that's right in the casino. This is the lobby bar area, and it's kind of cool because it has sort of an upper level that is where kind of the check-in is, but then a lower kind of lounge-like area. And then this is the Indigo Lounge. There is also a bar at the arcade. Now, speaking of arcades, right next to this bar is this arcade. The kids can come in here, they can't go into the bar. But this whole arcade is pretty spectacular. They have a lot of games here, but I rarely see a lot of people using it. There's also a mini golf place that is along the walkway to go to the food court. So they have mini golf, they have like some skee ball and a few arcade games here, but it could be great if you do have the kids with you. The gym is on the walkway that goes to the monorail. So what I think is very weird is that it's very exposed. So if you're working out, you could have people that are just like looking in and watching you work out. There used to be 2 hotel towers at the Horseshoe, the Resort Tower and the Jubilee Tower. But now Jubilee Tower is part of Paris Las Vegas, so it is called the Versailles Tower. Paris took it over and they built this walkway, like this bridge walkway that comes into the Horseshoe, and you access the elevators over here. So Paris Versailles Tower is accessed by the Horseshoe Casino area. It's kind of weird. There are several shows that you can catch while you're at Horseshoe. First, there's a burlesque show called X Rocks. And then there's Sin City Stones. That's a Rolling Stones tribute band. You also have Paranormal, which is a magic show. There's Potted Potter. It's like a Harry Potter parody show. And you have Battle Bots. Now that is in back of the Horseshoe, and it's like robots that are fighting each other. If you don't want to go all the way to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, they do have a small replica here at the Horseshoe. It's over by the food court. Well, in conclusion, I want to give you my final thoughts on the Horseshoe. I still think it's a great budget option. You have a great location, the rooms are great, so many good food options, especially in the Grand Bazaar shops. But I will say that the check-in process absolutely stinks, and I really want them to fix that because I'm going to have a hard time coming back here and standing in that line. I'm going to be frustrated again. Just not a good start to the trip. So anyway, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.